Howard speaks. Dentistry and all healthcare is a cartel. Dentistry, like much of healthcare in the U.S., is part of a larger system. From 1980 to now, government spending has accounted for more than half of America's GDP. Healthcare costs have ballooned from 1% in GDP in 1900 to 17% of our GDP today. Why? Because we still haven't addressed the underlying issue. The whole system operates like a cartel. How does a cartel operate? Fixed prices, limited supply, and divided markets to keep competition out and profits high. Think of how low quality and high cost American cars were in the 1970s and 1980s when the U.S. imposed tariffs and voluntary export restraints on Japanese and German cars to protect the U.S. auto industry. They were finally lifted in the 1990s, and that's when General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler finally had competition and had to start making better cars for a lower price. As of this day, not one dentist in Japan or Germany could sell their dental services in the U.S. without having to go back through dental school to appease the dental cartel, where your local state board is the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Let's talk numbers. The ADA says the average net income for dentists in 2023 was $218,000 for general dentists and $345,000 for specialists. Compare that to those working outdoors. Think cell phone tower repairmen, shrimp fishermen, the guys on Deadliest Catch. They risk their lives daily and still struggle to afford health care, typically making a fraction of a dentist's salary. The average American is paying significantly more out of pocket on health care than all the citizens in all the other first world nations. How is this possible? Free enterprise thrives and it drives innovation and competition. A controlled system? Back when I started my career in Phoenix, I met a dentist who had fled Nazi Germany. She arrived in the U.S. as a fully trained practicing dentist, yet wasn't allowed to practice in America without jumping through the bureaucratic hoops and re-earning her degree from a U.S. dental school. She was married with children, and they just came to America with only the shirt on their back. She didn't have the time or money to go back to dental school, and why should she? She came from the country making Mercedes-Benz to the country making Chryslers. I know the people of Phoenix would have loved to have had her practicing dentistry back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, the people who needed care, many of them poor, but the cartel didn't care. I practiced in Phoenix, Arizona, across from Guadalupe for several decades. Guadalupe has a population of 5,400 people, mostly Yaqui Indians and Mexicans, without a single dentist. The people are poor and don't have dental insurance. Several times a dentist from Mexico would set up a practice and place fillings for $20. As soon as they were discovered by the cartel, they would be arrested and put in jail because the dental cartel believes that no dental care is better than some dental care from a dentist who graduated from a dental school in Mexico City, Mexico. It happens all the time in Florida with dentists from Venezuela and Russia. Across the border in Mexico, the city of Los Algodons, aka Molar City, is booming. Thousands of Americans who look like me, short, fat, and bald, head there every year for dental procedures at a fraction of U.S. prices. Why? Because Mexican dentists charge lower fees. And yet here in the U.S., it's illegal for a trained dentist from any other country to practice without going through our state board process, which means going back to dental school, starting at square one. It's their protective moat to keep out all foreign competition. This isn't about healthcare quality, it's about control. A controlled system doesn't let in competition. It sets the conditions of limited competition to foster higher prices and restricts access, punishing those who try to offer affordable alternatives. That's why the healthcare system, and by extension dentistry, is broke and needs to prioritize dismantling this cartel. There's no reason someone should have to drive to Mexico to get a $1,400 dental implant that costs $4,000 in Phoenix. U.S. healthcare is a broken system. When it crashes, it will be replaced by something more competitive and efficient. The sooner we face that reality, the better we can prepare for what's next. We need to embrace the future rather than cling to the past. It didn't work for cars, and it's not working for America. America has $35.8 trillion of debt as of today and can no longer afford this system for Medicare and Medicaid. Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed this episode of Howard Speaks, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you. Take care, be good, and create a rocking great day.